Okay, so I think we're live. Liz, I'm Carolyn with Alzheimer's Arkansas. I do education and outreach, and we have Liz Adams. She is a financial planner today. So we're going to talk a little bit about financial planning. A lot of us don't really know about it. And as we get older, there's some things we should do to make sure that we can take care of ourselves or our loved ones can take care of us. So, Liz, how long have you been doing financial planning?
Since 1986.
Since
So y'all can figure out how old I am now, right? Unless I started when I was 14, which I wasn't.
you
So
was
yeah,
it?
I've been doing this a long time.
So I think I meet with a lot of caregivers, and as you get older, like I think there's a misperception about financial planning. Do you have to have a lot of money to financial plan, Liz?
No, man, what you have to have, what we all want to do is prepare for the unexpected. And financial planning just helps you set goals. And part of those goals are to plan for the unexpected. I remember many years ago, a friend of mine who was also a financial planner said, you have to watch out for the three Ds. And what were the three Ds or detours? And she said that they were disability,
Mm-hmm.
divorce, and death. Those are the three Ds, and you have to prepare for those things. And as it applies to Alzheimer's Arkansas, I would say that finding, we have the statistics for that particular disease is that over half the people over 85 have it.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 out of 5 people over 65 will at some point in time need assisted living or nursing home care. So knowing that, how do you plan for that? So, and you do it with your money. Planning is one of the goals. You may have one goal, maybe for your child's education. It may be buying your first house. It may be retirement, but it also needs to include the possibility of disability. And my own personal story, Carolyn, is when I was 33 years old, I tripped on some stairs and hurt my ankle. And I used to play a lot of tennis. Got back on the tennis court after 6 months and my foot being in a little boot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and my foot dropped and I could serve the ball and the racket went flying and I tripped over my own toes. Long story short, I had one of the first MRIs in 1986 and found out that I had multiple sclerosis. I was 33. That wasn't in my financial plan, I assure you. And it caught me flat footed, literally. And so it was important for me to understand what the future might hold. And so I got that first D pretty quick, that the disability side. However, I've never filed for disability or needed to because I've always worked. But, and also I'm a rather stubborn. But I asked my neurologist, will I be in a wheelchair when I'm 40? And unfortunately, she said, gee, I don't know. So, gee, I don't know gives you a lot of perspective about how you should plan for the unexpected.
Okay. And I think that so as I've been in senior and even just life, disability is one of those things. I've had more associates and friends at young ages that ended up with a disability, and that's one of the things we don't think about. Um, so divorce, death, and disability. So that's it. When we plan, those are the things we should plan. So that's you put my mind in a different perspective today, because we're always planning for things, and I think we don't even do a good job to plan for retirement. But disability is death and divorce are so common. So how does when you plan, like, is there an age that's too late, or if I haven't started planning, what do I do?
I think, Carolyn, it's never too late. First of all, it's never too late. And another thing, it's never too early either. I love talking. Every now and then I'll get one of my clients say, well, I wish my kids understood how to plan about how to handle money. So I told them, okay, here's the condition. They have to bring a notebook. They got to turn off their cell phones, and they have to sit with me for 45 minutes and take notes. And I have had kids from junior high and high school of children or grandchildren of my clients, as well as a few people about to go to college. And we just do the basics. In 45 minutes, I can give them the basics of, this is not rocket science. There's two types of investments. There's growth and income investments, and then some hybrids of each. And I give them plain English, no Wall Street speak, and that's how we do it. And I teach them in 45 minutes some basics that can help them get through it. Because I know when I was in high school and junior high, no one taught us, well, you're going to have to balance a checkbook someday. You're going to have to, you'll get a paycheck and understand what your withholding is. So there's no age that's the perfect age. Any age is the perfect age. And in thinking about how you service your client base, as far as caregiving goes, there's no bad time to do a caregiving plan or to plan ahead. And part of that really should include a serious talk with your significant other, your family. And even when I found out I had MS, my sister, who was 23 at the time, said, I guess we need to have a family meeting and figure out who's going to take care of you. I was 33 years old, and I said, Angie, no one has to take care of me. I'm fine. No one has ever had to take care of me. Thank you very much. But I'm extraordinarily independent. But my point is, it's never too early to plan what would happen. And that means a few things. Let's think about this. Part of it's estate planning. Part of it's just good common sense. But do you have a durable power of attorney? What is a durable power of attorney? It gives someone you appoint, you choose, and sometimes it can be more than one person, to take care of your financial and legal matters. Let's say you're in a car crash, you end up having dementia, whatever the problem is, someone's going to have to be able to take care of your financial house, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Pay your mortgage, pay your car payment, pay whatever it is, make sure all these things are taken care of for you. Even more important, or just as important, is a durable healthcare power of attorney, which gives the person you appoint, or the team you appoint, the ability to make medical decisions for you based on what you've already told them. The time to do this is not when you're laid up in the hospital bed. Mm-hmm. The time to do it is before that, okay? So you have a durable healthcare power of attorney, sometimes known as a living will, but also as very good, like an advanced directive of what your wishes are. Now, when I had mine done several years ago, I called my partner, my son, and my older sister. And she's not my oldest, she's the oldest of my younger sisters, how's that? And I said, we need to have a meeting at my house at 6:00 on Saturday. And don't bring your husband and don't bring your kids. I'm gonna need an hour of your time. And I had my attorney prepare the paperwork listing these three people, my son, my sister, and my partner, as my attorney of fact. So here it is, and they were sitting there looking at me, and I said, okay, I don't want any disagreements, but if I bonk my head or whatever happens to me, here's what I want. And here, how, do you want to be on a ventilator? Or do you want them to do chest compressions or electric shock? And as time, you give your how you want to live, mm-hmm. and how you want to go. And so those are, your advanced directive, durable healthcare power of attorneys, and just regular durable power of attorney. Those three things you need, everyone needs, because you don't want to have something happen and no one has any direction on what you want. Because, Carolyn, the most important thing is what the patient wants, what you or me or, how that works. We want to give respect to the person who might be needing this, to follow their directions and their guidance.
I totally agree. The power of attorney, and I usually educate, like, as soon as someone turns 18, they need to have a power of attorney and know what you want, and you can change it at any time, right? And because as we grow older too, our perspective on life changes and what we want. So you can change the people and what you want. So that's a very smart part of the financial planning. So if it was anything out here that you would just one thing to people that are watching. So, of course, we have a broad audience, caregivers come in all ages, children, neighbors, um, old, young, just if it was one thing that if it's one piece of advice that you usually give to anyone, what would it be?
Plan. That would be it. Plan. And there's a book. I wrote this down for you that really talks about a caregiving plan. So let me give you a little bit of information on this.
Okay.
The name of the author is Aaron Blight, Blight. The name of his book is When Caregiving Calls, Guidance as You Care for a Parent, Spouse, or Aging Relative. And what he does basically focuses on 5 questions. And this is a long answer to your short question, Carolyn. Okay. Those 5 questions are: what care is required? When is it needed? Where will it be received? And that's important.
Yes. Who
will provide the support, and how will you pay for it? These 5 questions, if you write those down and fill out, or start planning how that's going to be. And to give you an example, my mother-in-law sold her house. She was in her, I guess she was about 79 or 80 when she did that. She was a widow, and moved to an assisted living place. And she said it was her idea. She knew lots of people there and had some friends there, lunch buddies, the whole bit. And she was there for a couple of years and had a great time and felt safe. It was all one level. And their apple cart got knocked badly because there was a break-in during the broad daylight, and it scared everybody really good scare. And so I looked at my spouse and said, hey, let's just have Mom move in with us. We have the room. She had to have her own bathroom, a nice bedroom with a seating area. And so she moved in with us for 2.5 years, and it was great. And she had a little bit of forgetfulness, okay, all along. But as it got to the point toward the end of that 2.5-year period where she lost the ability to understand night and day, and one evening out of several, she wandered into the garage and was trying to get out at 3 a.m. And that's when we knew that, and the trouble was I had a swimming pool at the time, and if she'd gotten there out there at night and by the pool area, she could have drowned. And that was a real scare for us. There's nothing keeping her from doing that. So at that point, then she went to assisted living. And so this is where will the care take care of. So you're going 2 places. First, we were at our home, and then she went to assisted living. And just recently, in the past month, she has now gone to a memory care facility because she can answer her yes and no questions, but she has a hard time putting a sentence together telling us what she might need. So that was the where of it, and the when also. How do you pay for this? And this is where your financial planning comes into play. And Carolyn, a lot of the financial planning, if a person really plans way ahead, you buy long-term care insurance. I was published nationally back in the 90s about long-term care insurance. I'm a proponent of it. You have to know how to buy it. You don't want to do overkill and pay too much for it. You need to combine what your income is and cover the shortfall, basically.
Yeah.
But my relative had civil service pension, and she had a small Social Security, I think like $200 or $300 a month, because she was a civil servant. And so, but she had a good civil servant pension, and then she was the widow of a veteran.
Okay.
So those 3 things gave her enough money, because it cost her, and the cost at this assisted living in West Little Rock was $3,100 a month for her small studio. It was like a little studio apartment, a little L-shaped room, and 2 or 3 meals a day, and they checked on her medication and such, did the medication, which is important for her. And then when she moved to memory care, which was last month, it's now 50, I think it's 51 or 5,200 a month. And she will be, yeah, it's a lot. But her care is increased.
Yes.
Because, they now have to help her bathe and do a lot of other things for her because she's fallen and broke her nose and had to go to the ER. This is all part of the things that happen. She's now 84. But we feel that she feels safe. And the nice thing about my mother-in-law is that she's a very pleasant person, and she still has that pleasantness about her.
Yes.
So I think of the 5 questions that Aaron Blight talks about in his book, how will you pay for it? Who provides the support? We support, the family provides the support. And Carolyn, there are some people who don't have family or sibling. And this is where your church friends come in, and your all other friends. And it's good to keep that social network up. We have to have a social network at all ages.
I think that's an important point. A lot of times as we get older, sometimes we tend to let go of those relationships, but relationships are very important. Even when you have children, and because they move away and they're here, and that those people that are close in proximity to you kind of becomes that family, right? You rely on each other. So that's a good point that should also be considered in our lives. Like, do you have a good system of friends and supporters? It's very important. So, Liz, I really want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to help educate and provide some steps and pointers on financial planning and how important they are. So Liz, again, she works at, show her name and title again. We have let me see, Jennifer in the background. Hey, Jennifer.
Hey,
Liz Adams. And you can leave comments in the comment section, and we'll get Liz's information to you, or if you need any other information, we can get, everybody hooked up. But financial planning, as we get older, it becomes very, very important. And Liz told us it's not too late or too early to start. Right. So thank you for your time, Liz. And we'll check back in with you a little later. So everyone out there, please feel free to check out what we have going on at Alzheimer's Arkansas Monthly. We have a Little Rock Lunch and Learn on the first Wednesday of the month. Oh, Jennifer is going to tell me what to say. Little Rock Hope Caregiver Workshop this year is going to be on Friday, May the 12th, where you can figure out and find new resources. Check out our new website. We have a rebuild, and it looks great. So that's where you can find a lot of our events and resources. And we currently have 3 grants available. Remember, they are not income-based. They are based on need. So please feel free to give us a call at the office at 501-224-0021. Email us, stop by. And until the next time, let's talk.